The next two projects offer you two similar but different projects. This part of Pumpkin Patch introduces you to thread sketching. Thread sketching is meant to give the idea of a design but not capture its entire essence. This is a little picture of Pumpkin Patch, and this is the thread sketching version. And in the thread sketching version, you're just going to get the essence of the design and not the whole design. Now I'm going to use a straight stitch throughout the whole project, and I'm going to turn my hoop so that I see the best. When I have it this way, the presser foot blocks my view. I've already tacked my stitches, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to outline this pumpkin first, and I'm going to move the hoop very, very slowly. Because when I wash this stabilizer away, I need for there to be a nice solid line around the outside. So I'm going to just jump over the stem, and then I'll go back later and I will remove that thread. Now if you find that you don't have the line thick enough, then what you can do is just go over it again. Now when I get to the bottom, I'm going to turn it back around this way. Well, let's go this way. I think I'll see a little better. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make arcs right around, because the outside of this curve of the pumpkin would have a natural arc to it. Now I don't want to make these arcs all the same length. I want some to be shorter than others, because otherwise it's going to look like somebody set a bow on it. Now when I get up here to the center, these lines are going to be more straight up and down, because that's the way, if you look at a pumpkin, it sort of grows. And I also want to give a little bit of shading up here at the top, because there would naturally be just a little bit darker color at the top than there would at the bottom. Now this side, I'm just going to go just like this. I'm going to evaluate it, and if I find that I need something more done on the other side, I can change it at this point in time. So now we're going to go to our medium color of orange, and now we've got the shading in. I've gone ahead and I've tacked my stitch, and I've put in a few of the, I call this the body color of the pumpkin. And notice how I've curved the arc right through here, because that's where the pumpkin would naturally curve. Now up here at the top, I'm going to make these a little bit longer, because remember, these are the body, and these are going to be more straight up and down. Now as I get back over here to the right side, I'm going to curve again, just like this. And notice that I'm not going back over the line that I went down on. And also too, if you find yourself with a medium speed, don't try to go too fast when you're thread sketching, because you'll have more control if you go slow. Okay, I'm going to look at this, I'm going to evaluate it, and I go, okay, that's pretty cute. Now we're going to go to a secondary shading color next. We're going to use a medium gold, and that's going to put just a little bit more shading on this. I've tacked my stitch, I've got my medium gold color in, and on this sort of secondary shading color, I'm only going to keep this right up here at the top, because the pumpkin would naturally be a little bit darker right up here at the top. And when I get over here to the other side, I'm going to evaluate it. And what I want to do is I want to add a little bit more of the gold color here to make it, I guess, even more shadow in through here. When I get to the other side, I'm going to evaluate it, and I go, yep, I like that. And see how quick that was? That didn't take any time at all. Got one more color on the pumpkin, and then we're going to be done with the pumpkin. Okay, I've tacked my stitch, and what I want to, I've got my, probably the brightest yellow I have in my entire studio in here, because I want you to be able to see it. Now this is naturally is going to be the shading side, so I don't want to bring any of that color down through here. But what I do want to do, I can either, when I have this color, I can either go through right between the threads already in place, or I can let this form its own path. It doesn't make any difference. Now you want to remember too, when you're choosing your thread, to choose your thread about 2 shades darker than what you think you're going to need, because they won't show up quite as dark on here as they do on a spool of thread, because all of its colors are concentrated in one area. Okay, I'm going to look at this and I'm going to evaluate it, and I go, okay, I think we're done with the pumpkin. We've got the leaves and the dirt, and then we're going to be done. Okay, I want to do the stem, so I want to turn it so I see the best. And all we're going to do is we're going to outline this little stem. Now when you outline this stem, you want to move the hoop very, very slowly, because if you don't, you'll have this little wimpy line that when you go to wash the stabilizer away, it's not going to be heavy enough to go with the appearance of the rest of the pumpkin. Also, if you find that it's not dark enough, just go over it a second time. Now, I'm going to come down here and I want to do the dirt, and I'm going to go over, I think I told you at the beginning we're going to use a straight stitch on this whole project, but forgot about the dirt. Now we're going to go over here to a zigzag stitch. On your pattern, you will have lines drawn in here to give you an idea of where you need to go. I decided not to put the lines in here because it's easier for you to see the stitch if there are no lines in through here. All you're going to do is move the hoop east to west. Now the reason that I want to put the dirt in before I put the leaves in is that the leaves would naturally fall over on top of the dirt. So you want to make sure that whatever is the furthest away from you, in this instance it's going to be the dirt, that you put it down first. Now when you're done with this particular color, now obviously I would go over to the right hand side and finish this out, but I think you get the idea. When you're done with this, you've got to, there's a second color that's got to come in here, so you don't want to get this first color too thick. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your second color, which is going to be like a medium brown or a medium rust, and what you're going to do is you're going to take the second color of thread, and what you're going to do is you're going to go in between the stitches already in place. Now you can bring some on out through here if you want, but you want to go between the stitches already in place. Now we have to do the veins in the leaves, and what you're going to do is you're going to go back to a straight stitch. And this time you want to make sure that you really move the hoop slowly, because this really needs to build up on this line. Otherwise, when you wash the stabilizer away, you won't be able to see it. And I think I'll add a little bit more right there. I think I'll add another one there. And then I'll go back to the beginning. So what you're going to have, and it's going to show up on your PDF documents, this is leaf 2. Leaf 2 and leaf 4 are going to be like an orange color, or you can choose whatever color you want. And the remaining leaves, 1, 3, and 5, I use like a rusty color brown in there. And then last, I want to outline the leaves, and I'm going to come over here and choose a green, whatever color green that you want. I'm going to keep this orange in here because it shows up a little better. All you're going to do is slowly outline this leaf, just like this. And on these leaves, if you're comfortable going around it the second time, and as I said in an earlier video, one of the hardest things that you'll have to learn to do is to sketch or thread paint right over the line that you just did. So I'm going to come around through here, and already you can see that the thread is built up on here very, very nicely. Okay, so that takes care of the leaf, and you're going to finish the other 4 leaves on here, and then this is what the final project's going to look like. This is called Thread Sketching Pumpkin Patch, and I don't know, but I think it's a really, really cute, really, really fast project.